Welcome back to DeadBall TV. This is Group H, the final group, and I think only one that's going to have four people on here. So we got me and Connor, the usual gang. Albert, basically like a contractor for DeadBall TV at this point, and we got Shauyan back for Group H. How you doing, Shauyan?
Dude, I'm doing great. I'm just really humbled to be around three great, amazing gentlemen like yourselves. And, I'm just really happy to be here because honestly, I seem like an outlier on this stream. But I'm here and, I'm happy to be here.
As you should. Okay, so we're gonna jump into Group H, guys. For those living under a rock, we got Korea, Uruguay, Portugal, and Ghana. So Albert, this group is obviously just a little more important to you than it is to the rest of us, being that you're Korean. So let's start with
Yeah.
Korea. Let's start with
Wait,
your
Albert's
boys.
Korean?
He is Korean. You didn't know he's Korean?
I'm just joking.
Bro, with you, I wouldn't put anything past you. I'm honestly horrified for what you're about to say in this episode. So I got to double check on everything. But Albert, why don't you, being an expert about the Korean team, why don't you just give us your thoughts? We've talked about it a lot, but for the people who haven't seen those other videos, what you think about this team and where they're going to finish in this group.
Yeah, no, a lot of from what I've seen, European or North American pundits have all been picking Uruguay to finish second, Uruguay or Ghana. I've even seen some people pick Ghana. Honestly, though, South Korea has a pretty decent team this year in terms of just the attacking talent, I guess, just from the top down. Everyone knows about Son Heung-min at Tottenham, but there's a lot of other younger guys playing in different teams in Europe. You got Hwang In-bum, who's playing in Olympiacos for Greece. He's been quite good. Everyone knows the center back Kim Min-jae, who's absolutely balling over in Napoli in Italy. And then you got Lee Gang-in, who's playing over at Mallorca, who's a very, very good young attacking midfielder. And also you have a few other midfielders and wingers spread across the Bundesliga. And also you have Hwang Yi-chan, who plays over at Wolves in the EPL. So in terms of comparison to our previous teams, I our 2018 and 2014 teams were absolute ass. We had nothing in those rosters. But I think we've gotten lucky in terms of our development, and we've had some really good players come up in their mid to late 20s here. And I've said this before, it doesn't mean that we're going to get out of the group, because I think that on paper, Portugal and Uruguay probably have better teams, but I think that or Cheyenne,'s just shaking his head, but I think that we have a better chance of putting on probably more entertaining football than what we've shown in previous tournaments, because the 2018 team that we had was god awful. I had a bet going with my friend that we probably wouldn't have even scored a goal in that tournament, and we did, luckily, in the last minute against Mexico, and then Germany just absolutely shat the bed later in that game. But I really think that it's a sneaky good Korean team. It's a sneaky good team, but I worry about the manager. I think Paulo Bento is, I hate to say it, but a typical Portuguese, Mediterranean conservative type guy who's very stubborn and plays only guys he likes and that he thinks fit his system. So I do question if we have the right guy in charge, but I don't question the talent on this team. And at minimum, I expect a third place finish, and at best, probably a second place finish. So,
yeah. Okay, that's probably what a lot of people feel. But if you had to put your money on the line, where are you putting you guys to finish?
If you're asking me to put my own money, right now, realistically speaking, I got us finishing third. And I just think that's because of, despite the attacking talent that I said we had, I think defensively we are a bit frail, especially in the fullback positions. And I think that, I think Uruguay especially is one game we can't afford to lose, but I think they really are a nightmare matchup for us. Just given how physical their midfield is, you got guys like Rodrigo Bentancur, who's, by the way, scoring all of a sudden. Where did that come from? And then if they play Federico Valverde out wide, I think he's going to have a lot of fun terrorizing our left back, who's good going forward, but pretty trash in his own end. So I think it's just a bad matchup, and I could see us maybe probably losing 2 games and winning 1. But if I had to put my money where my mouth is, I just think we don't have enough depth, I think, to compete with the 2 big boys in this group. And I also don't I don't fully trust this manager either because his last World Cup campaign was really disastrous in 2014 for Portugal, and I don't think he's shown that he's learned from his mistakes in the past, and I think at best we'll finish third. And I could be wrong, but right now, if I put money on it, yeah, I don't think we're making it out of the group. So,
Sean, you were shaking your head. What you feeling down there?
I'm a little bit stunned. But then again, Albert is
Me too.
the South Korea expert. I'm gonna keep 100. We're having no Cristiano Ronaldo suies in this bullshit, okay? It's Portugal dead last. All right, dead last Portugal.
No, bro, that's
dead last. Dead last
that
Portugal.
he's still salty. He's still salty. You missed that.
No,
Portugal 4 years ago, right? So
this is no bias. This is just the truth, okay? So I have.
But before you start going off on Portugal, I just want to hear like concisely what you think about Korea. We'll get into Portugal next. That'll be our next team.
Okay.
Why do you think that they're going to be one of these? It sounds like you saying they top two.
It's because this World Cup, I'm banking a lot. It's funny because when you asked Albert, Albert already said he put him in third. And he's like, if you were to put your money on, I was like, well, if Albert already said third, I don't think he's going to put any money on that getting out based on that. But
I thought he was being too polite.
I know that could be the case. Albert's a nice guy. That's why I'm a little worried, but that's what I'm here for. He's the good angel. I'm the devil. All right. That's what I'm here for all the Koreans. Because honestly, I'm so in it for this South Korea team. Granted, Albert is the expert, and I agree with him with a little bit of the coaching stuff. But as he mentioned, their coach is Portuguese. We've seen Portugal struggle when they go up against Portuguese coaches. So maybe we could. Something's gonna happen. And plus, I think the thing is too with South Korea is I think they're better than the other counterparts in this group. I do think they'll lose the game against Uruguay. But I think they will win out their last two games. That's how I view it anyway. And I'm so in it for all this for the Asian nations, excluding Qatar. But I still have Qatar even getting out of their group as well. But I think this is the World Cup for upsets for Asian nations. This is it. This is where the Asian nations are on the come up. So that's why I'm in it. And I think there's a few budding stars that, granted, with the issues that, the lack of tactical knowledge from the coach, these like budding stars, the thing that all the USA fans would hope for, South Korea has. The players that can literally be like, okay, it's time to nut up or shut up. They'll lose that game against Uruguay, and they'll be like, okay, this is it. They win the game against Ghana. They win the game against Portugal. Lights out, top of the group, game done and done.
Wow.
See you tomorrow.
That's crazy.
Based off of my other scores. Yeah.
I have to ask, since you're going, this is the year of the Asian teams. Do you have Australia getting out?
No, they're the only one that don't get out.
Okay. Because
your credibility remains moderately intact.
You've come in here swinging, and now it's just been like, oh my lord, we would have had to reduce the podcast down to 3 men at that point. We'd be a man down. I just pull out a red card out of my pocket for that. Okay, that's fair. I'm still saving my general thoughts. Connor, what you think? South Korea, where you got them and why?
I kind of want to call an audible, but
okay.
No, I have them.
Audible? You're the quarterback. You can call the audible.
You know what?
What is an audible?
Do you watch American football?
No, of course not.
An audible is when they have like a play
I
like
can't
lined
tell
up,
if you're
set
serious.
up.
No, this I'm being serious. I don't watch any sport other than this.
All right, Connor, explain what an audible
So an audible is when you have like a play set up and like the formation is set, and then you look around, the quarterback doesn't really like the look of the defense compared to the play that they have lined up, so they call an audible, which switches the formation to become a different play so that it better suits the
okay. So you're switching up the scene. You're switching
So
it up.
Right now I'm like looking at my calls right here, and you know what? I'm gonna have South Korea second. That's all.
This is a man of culture. This is a man that knows what he's talking about.
This is a man that has had no hot takes in any of the groups up until now, and you know what? Look,
don't cut yourself short like that.
Look,
I don't know, bro. You had Wales second. I had Wales second, but
yeah,
that's
but
not
you put up some
outrageous.
good points in that Group B video when I was watching it live. I was really proud of that.
Thank you.
You were just upset because I dissed Carlos Queiroz.
I was a little upset, okay? But you did name drop me, so you slightly redeemed yourself.
I did. I've name dropped you like 6 times, to be fair. But anyways, Connor, go ahead.
There is always a massive upset in the World Cup. I think usually we see one of these bigger teams fall out, or somebody fails or doesn't play up to expectations, or honestly, like a smaller upstart team takes advantage of that. I'm going to level with you. I don't think that's going to be the United States. If I had to put my money where my mouth was, I would like to put betting money on South Korea. That sounds fun to me. That sounds like a bet I'd like to make. And I'm going to sound like a fucking genius if it pulls through. So yeah, that is the team you want to root for. Yeah, my money's on Heung-min Son and the boys from South Korea. Let's do it.
Okay.
Second place.
Look, bro. I love South Korea. I think they're very talented. I have them third, and it pains me to say that, it really does. I would like nothing more than to be incorrect. If Shauyan's right and they win the group, I'm shooting fireworks off in the backyard. I mean, it would be incredible. I just haven't seen it. I think the midfield is going to get absolutely bodied in this group, and the fullbacks are not where they need to be. I have very little faith in the Korean goalkeeper, regardless of which one they go with. I think if Uruguay scores first or Portugal scores first, this gets ugly, and it gets ugly fast. Their performance in the friendlies against the South American teams, I mean, they kind of just look like another lamb to the slaughter for Brazil, and that's kind of the caliber of team that they're going up against. I don't think they'll get blown out, but I haven't seen Korea dominate or beat a very good team yet, and I don't know if under Bento he's going to get the boys up. And Albert, you know that Lee Gang-in probably needs to play if Korea's going to play to their potential. And let's be honest, Bento's going to leave him on the bench unless you have some insider information that I don't have access to.
No, he's not going to play him. I think the reason he picked him in the first place was because of the media pressure. And when he was asked about it, like after the friendlies, he's like, "Did you hear the chants?" He's like, "Of course I have ears." And then his excuse was to talk about a bunch of other scrubs in midfield that didn't play. And I was like that's not going to work. Like,
that
we're
didn't answer
smarter
the
than
question.
that. Like, yeah, like he's the most talented. I'm not kidding when I say this, but this kid is like the most talented footballer besides Son Heung-min in the entire country. He is the second best player in my opinion. That's how good he is. I mean, he's been, I think, one of the top 5 assist leaders in La Liga this year. He's like top 2 or 3, I think. He's literally been one of the best players in that entire league. He's wonderful at set pieces. He can hit penalties. He's extremely good at pressing now. He's really cleaned up his defensive game. So there's no reason that he shouldn't start. He won't, again, because who the coach is. But I will say, despite all the problems that you mentioned, I will agree with Shauyan. The one wild card in this group, I think, is also Fernando Santos. I think that he is a guy. He did win Portugal the Euro 6 years ago, but again, in Portugal, the reason that the fans hate him so much is because he doesn't utilize the attacking talent on that roster, and his first instinct is to turtle, basically. And I think if the first goal is so important, I think if we can catch Portugal, like Shauyan said, with that first goal, it's not exactly a team that is used to playing from behind, even despite all the talent that they have. And also you have a 6'2", 6'3" problem in Ronaldo. I'm going to call him a problem now. He is a problem for the team. There's a bunch of Portuguese friends I have who don't want him to start. They think if Santos made the right decision, Ronaldo wouldn't be starting. So that's another thing to watch out for. So I think that if we get a little lucky with the fact that I think Portugal has some poor man management in their team right now, I think we could sneak through, but it'll take some luck for sure. Yeah.
So quickly before we move on to Portugal, who would be your ideal midfield 3 for Korea?
If I was the coach, I would definitely start the kid Lee Gang-in as the 10, or as the most advanced central midfielder. And then I would probably start the kid from Greece, Hwang In-bum, who's playing for Olympiacos. Again, 2 smallish players, which is why I would play as the CDM Chung Woo-young, who plays over in Qatar, I think. Not exactly a good league, but he's actually very big, physical, 6'2", 6'3". Not the biggest guy, but I think you need a little bigger body in there. So 1 big body to shield back 4, and then 2 smaller, more skilled guys. Again, I don't know if that's going to work against Uruguay. That midfield could get swallowed up by the Uruguayans, but I think you have to score against these teams to have a shot. And I think since we're not exactly a team that's built to sit back, we're a team that our strength is going forward. So I think you just have to play to that. I think what Bento's going to do, though, he's going to play a midfield 3, probably of Hwang In-bum, Young, and then Lee Jae-sung, who plays over in Mainz in the Bundesliga. He's a decent player, but he's kind of like the James Milner of Korean soccer. He's just a very versatile guy. He doesn't do any one thing well. He's like an Energizer Bunny type, and I don't think that midfield's creative enough to get anything going against the Uruguayan or the Portuguese defense. But we'll see. But like I said, yeah, the midfield is my main question mark right now. Of course, the fullbacks suck. We know that, but can we create enough in the middle of the park to support guys up top like Son Heung-min and Hwang Hee-chan is going to be one of the big questions for us.
Anything else y'all want to say about Korea before we move on?
Yeah, that's good.
I think you made a pretty astute observation. The game to win here is against Portugal because Uruguay is going to play down and dirty. They're in some really good form right now. They have a chip on their shoulder. They're going to be pretty cutthroat when they play. So the game to win is an upset against Portugal, and then another win against Ghana. I completely agree with you. But I like your plan for the midfield. Hopefully the coach surprises us.
Yeah.
Okay. And speaking of surprises, so let's go to Portugal. Shauyan, why don't you present your case for why you have them last? If I heard you correctly at the beginning of this video, might have been some static. I thought I heard fourth.
No, it's okay. If you didn't hear me clearly, I have Portugal finishing dead last in this group. Their only win comes against Uruguay, and then that's it. And they lose the other two.
They lose to Ghana.
Let me double check this actually. 1 sec.
You gotta. I need more explanation than that. You give me a
Yep. Sorry. Yep, I was right. Just double check. Yep. Their only win comes against Uruguay, which is their second match, I believe. So I think they lose their first game against Ghana. They win the second game against Uruguay because, okay, we have to win or we're out of the World Cup, and we can't. This is okay. So basically what's going to happen is, so they'll lose to Ghana. Like Ghana will surprise package everyone because we're not up in the Ghanaians. Obviously, we got to show some respect to them. They get that win. Then everyone's
respect
like, oh, it's because I wouldn't be surprised maybe if the first game Ronaldo starts or doesn't start, and they're like, oh, the reason is because Ronaldo started or didn't start, and that's why Portugal are in shambles right now. And then the second game they start him, he scores a couple of goals, and it's like, oh, what, Ronaldo's the best player I've ever seen in the whole wide world. And then they get the win. Then they go into game 3. They're like, oh, South Korea, bunch of chumps, easy W. Then they get bam, 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 bam. They're done so. And then that's it. And that's the end of the road, man. Regardless, okay, Portugal even get out of this group, the farthest they go is round of 16. To use a word that Connor once said on a podcast I was once on with him, this team has no gumption. And I love that word so much. And yeah, this team is dog water bad. Like, let's be completely 100. Their best player is João Cancelo. If anyone says Cristiano Ronaldo, Sui, and all that crap, it ain't true.
Sui.
Okay. I'm going to agree with the second to last thing you said. I do see round of 16 the furthest this team gets. Now, this ain't a knockout round video, so I'm not going to say any more. But I do think that they have enough to get out, despite them being pretty uninspiring the majority of the time.
That is probably the most negative word I would use to describe this team is uninspiring. Uninspired, I would say.
Yeah,
I would say so.
Would y'all agree this is like on paper, of course, football's different than the roster sheet. Is it top 5 team?
Yeah. On paper? Yes.
Borderline top 5. I don't know.
Ooh,
so top 10, undebatable.
Yeah, top 10 shoe-in. Yeah, top 10, no
okay.
question.
But they don't play like it. And I think, Shauyan, that's like the biggest point that you're getting at. Probably because of Santos, partially because of Ronaldo, partially because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but Jota's confirmed out, right? He's not going to the World Cup. That's a big loss. He was going to be my top goal scorer. And I was like, oh shit, he's not coming back till Christmas. And the Portuguese ain't making it that far. Can I just ask you to expand quickly? And I don't want to do a full deep dive on Ghana. That'll be the next team. But why in God's name you feel like the Ghanaians are going to beat the Portuguese?
They got that secret sauce.
Why do you feel like the Portuguese are going to lose to the Ghanaians? Is more,
dude. This is a world. Okay, the thing is, you got to look at this okay. Obviously, when you look at the World Cup groups, I looked at it in different lenses. I switched the glasses on once in a while. I looked at it game by game. This World Cup will
Okay.
be the World Cup of the most upsets, and I would not be surprised for a lot of these teams. For the first games, we see a lot of shaky performances. Obviously, you guys did a video talking about Brazil. I still have Brazil topping their group, but I wouldn't be surprised if they just drop points, and I'm almost certain it'll be a draw in their first game, but then clean house in the other two. Like they win it by high goal differentials. So I think there's going to be a lot of hiccups for a lot of teams. And I think Ghana will be able to adapt a little bit quicker than Portugal at this World Cup due to the lack of time a lot of these teams will have together, being a part of the camps together. And with all these injuries and stuff, you got to expect the unexpected at this World Cup. It's different. It's a different World Cup, so it's different rules.
Okay. What do you think, Connor? Let's get your general thoughts on Portugal and where you got them.
On Portugal, I'm going to level with you. I'm going to come out. I think Cancelo is one of their best players. That could be City bias, but I mean, he's a fullback.
No, without a doubt.
That scores goals. But I think he's an incredible threat on the wing. And he provides an attacking threat that I really don't rate coming from Bernardo Silva. That some City
You
bias
don't like
there?
Bernardo Silva.
I don't rate him all that much. I think he is soft. I know I was saying that about Vlahovic. I 100% believe Bernardo Silva is soft. And I would say the same thing about Bruno as well. So yeah, that's where I stand in regards to that. And yeah, if they can feed the ball to Ronaldo, perfect. I definitely rate that man. But I also think that he's part of a struggling Man United team, and he's in kind of the twilight of his career, and he's dug this giant hole. And I think there's a distinct possibility that the size of his ego and the size of his legacy drags Portugal into that hole with them rather than lifting them to greatness. So yeah, I agree with Shauyan to an extent. I think there's a massive amount of politics and drama that could go on here that could completely shake up the locker room and the energy of everybody on that team. And that is what South Korea is going to have to capitalize on. That being said, Ghana could be playing with 50 African Lions on their team, and they would still lose to Portugal. I really don't see a scenario in where Ghana puts on even a decent performance here.
That's why I'm happy we're doing this. So this will always be something I can reference back to. It's good evidential proof. But yeah, sorry.
Yes.
No, you're all right. I'm glad. I
So where you
can't
got
wait to reference back to this.
Where you
Portugal?
got him? Where you got? Yeah.
I got Portugal third.
Wow.
Oh,
I'm telling you, bro. I'm going.
Wow.
It's happening.
We have that connection.
No.
That's
Don't drag me. Don't drag me over there right now.
Shaw's gonna be like, yeah, me and Connor's gonna be like, whoa.
That's too far.
Yeah.
Without revealing too much about Uruguay, I am rating them highly. And I think that the deciding match for this group is going to be Korea versus Portugal. That is going to be the most important match of the group, in my opinion. But yeah, I think Uruguay is going to be very, very consistent here. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. What you think, Albert?
I don't know. I think honestly, after looking closely at their team, I think Ghana is also a bit of a sneaky team. They've been naturalizing some of their European-based players. That guy Kudus, who plays in Netherlands for Ajax, the fast motherfucker. He is going to cause some problems for the fullbacks on the opposing teams. You got Inaki Williams, who's been called up to the Ghanaian national team. You got some old heads like Jordan Ayew still there. The Ayew brothers are both still there. And
Washed.
Thomas Partey's been balling out for Arsenal, and he's going to boss their midfield. He's also not going to be an easy guy to move. Like, he's a handful for not just the Koreans, he's going to be a handful for the Uruguayans and Portuguese. So I think that I still have Ghana finishing last year, but I think it wouldn't be inconceivable to see them knock some points off any three of these teams. And I think this is also like one of the most unpredictable groups in the World Cup, because you could see literally, I can make a case for every single one of these teams finishing first or last in the group, depending on how, like Shauyan talked about, like their man management or the locker room or how they approach each game. Like it really could be one of those crazy groups like we saw 4 years ago with Group F, with Germany finishing last, like in the last day, and Sweden topping the group with Mexico coming in second. So I think we could see one of those things happen potentially. Yeah.
So then where do you have Portugal?
Man, I think right. Well, since I said I think South Korea finishes third, I still think that Portugal finishes first, and I don't think that's because of Santos. I think that's because despite him, the attacking talent is insane. Like,
It
yes,
is.
Ronaldo's a problem,
It
but
is.
Rafael Leao on the left
First!
side. They're too good, and they're also really good in the middle. Like Ruben Diaz is a beast in the center of that defense. Mendes on the left side with Cancelo on the right is just. I think even if Santos tries like his best to mess this up, I can't see him messing it up to a point where they just crash out of the group stage. I would love to see it; it'd be hilarious. But I think again, if I'm putting money on it, I still think that they finish first. I know you did another group preview before this. I think Portugal's not my European team that crashes out. I think Belgium is the one that crashed out. But yeah, for now, I think Portugal finishes first in this group. I still think. And by the way, we're going to talk about Uruguay. I don't rate the Uruguayan manager much at all. Diego Alonso was actually pretty terrible in the MLS from what I remember when he was coaching over in the States. He's not exactly
Dude,
like
he's
a
a
guy that
low-key
you could
cold
trust.
hero for Inter Miami. Those are good days.
Yeah. And
Fuck Inter Miami.
yeah. I mean,
My thoughts exactly,
my predictions
Connor.
could change.
Yeah.
My predictions
And
could
they will.
change,
They
but
will.
right, yeah.
As they
I
should.
still have Portugal and Uruguay in that top two bracket, and then South Korea in third. But I could look like a fool, and Cheyenne could look like Nostradamus in a few weeks' time. So we'll see.
Yeah.
What a
Shauyan's
good
either walking
Nostradamus
away.
shout-out.
He's either walking away as like literally a prophet or like just like the jester, the court jester. I don't
And
know how it's
there's
gonna
like
play
a
out,
good
bro.
percentage of things I've said. I've had bold takes, and it's 50-50. Sometimes I get them right. There's evidential proof. I said Sebastian Derussy will win this year's MLS MVP award before the season started. He was super close, really close. He should have won it. I'm going to be completely honest. And I had some fumbles. I said LAFC would get bounced out in the first round of the playoffs. Granted, if it wasn't for stupid Chicho Arango, I was pretty close. And, it can go 50-50. But this World Cup, I'm confident because, I'd rather be the court gesture than being granola and, oh, Ronaldo's going to do well. Like, I'd rather put my money on Hwang Hee-chan.
Okay.
I respect that. If even if I don't agree, I do respect it to not just go super vanilla. I'll wrap things up on Portugal and then let's move on to Ghana afterwards. I got them second. I think that it's a matter of it's very similar to me with England, right? I don't rate Southgate at all. I think he's quite terrible, but I think the talent of the England roster will just drag them out of the group. Like they will win in spite of their manager. I think Portugal do it in spite of Santos and Ronaldo as well. I think that the goals will probably come from other people. I don't think Ronaldo will have a bad World Cup. He's not going to be on Messi level though. I'll tell you that.
No.
And what a calamity if they did not make it out of the group. I mean, it would
ruin his legacy.
It would be one thing if it was Uruguay and Korea that made it through, but if you get bounced and Ghana goes through in second or something like that, I don't ever want to hear the GOAT debate ever again. It's done, finished. Done. Don't bring it up.
But this has nothing even to do with the GOAT debate, in my opinion. But like it should actually, this Portugal team not making out of the group actually shouldn't be that surprising. Like, let's be honest here.
It'd be surprising.
Let's
be honest. That would be a disaster.
Yes, that would be a disaster. 100%.
Not one Ghanaian makes it into the Portuguese 11. Not one. Maybe.
No, I'd say maybe Tyreek Lamptey. Maybe.
Are you kidding me? Tyreek Lamptey would be fourth string right back for Portugal.
I think he's really good.
Are you think he's really
good?
Left
back.
You think he? But they play him a right back. Don't they play Nunes at left?
The man's that fucking good. They can play whoever the fuck they want, wherever the fuck they want.
Hold on, bro. Lamptey doesn't even start for Brighton.
Well, it's because he's been hurt. He does start.
No, he barely starts. He
just was injured for a long period of time. He just got back into the team. I'm just saying, I feel like he'd be really good at right back. What was that?
Party would get a shot over Silva, depending on like what kind of style you want to play.
Damn.
So,
I'd say it'd be great to have João Cancelo on the left and Tyreek Lamptey on the right. I'm just putting it out there.
Okay, so you could argue a Ghanaian makes it in. You could argue.
Yeah,
I'm
they
sorry,
won.
man.
But
They
as
wanted
you
to.
said, it doesn't like the team on paper doesn't mean squat diddle.
Right. But that's why I think it would be disastrous because there is a base level of performance that a national team is expected to hit and attain because of how their players are at club form. We just said in the last episode that doesn't always translate. Totally fair enough. That's why upsets happen. But just because upsets happen, just because, Ronaldo might be fading, doesn't mean this would not be a fucking bomb for the World Cup if Ronaldo
I mean, they did it in
and Kobe go out.
2014.
I'm looking.
And it was
at this
embarrassing
team.
then.
This is a fucking.
It was
nightmare.
embarrassing then.
This would be a nightmare. I mean, Dalot, Pereira, Rui for Napoli. This would be a travesty if they went out.
Bro, you got the most dangerous attacker, Rafael Leao in Serie A, would go out. It'd be Bernardo Silva, guys playing at Man City, killing it, links to Barcelona. Bruno Fernandes, I think he's overrated, but he's still good.
I'm linked to Barcelona. That doesn't mean shit. Like they're trying to buy everybody.
Yeah, they really are.
Hashtag Connor Flynn go to Barcelona.
And you know what? I'd ride the bench and make six figures a year.
Here we go. Where's the here we go?
I'd contribute just as much as Dembele.
Yeah. Well, hold on, bro. He been balling
for like the last couple games.
You a hater.
Dude,
you
have
and
you
seen
Samuel,
some
Samuel
of-
Umtiti on the bench.
Say what?
I was gonna
What
say,
do
have
y'all
you seen
got?
some of Connor's skills though on the field? Like, dude, this guy is.
I got
good.
headers. That's because I got this massive forehead. That's about it. I genuinely think if you put me on the Barcelona number 9, I could get at least one header in.
That's better than 0.
I could not score a single open play goal, but a header I could do.
Yeah. Off a corner kick, I could see that. Would you want to say,
Premier League-
Albert?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think the starting front three for Portugal is gonna be Ronaldo, Leao, and João Felix. But that's 2 out of 3 who are not playing well at the moment. So I don't
And
know.
also, just
Maybe
doesn't
I'm
seem like
starting
that
to
would
waver.
jive well together too. Like it just seems.
And the whole dynamic changes in the World Cup. So I think there is a very good chance that they could play well together. But from what I'm seeing, they don't really play a front 3. They play like 2 wingers, a Cam, and then Ronaldo up top.
See, this is another problem I have with Portugal. It's like there's almost too many cooks in the kitchen, and sometimes that's not a good thing. You need it to be
Agreed.
nicely balanced, and that's another thing that I think will be. I mean, okay, all good things got to come to an end, and I think this is where things come to an end for Portugal. Like as I said, we all said we can agree. There's no farther than round of 16. I think if they do even make the round of 16, we could still see Fernando Santos still be their coach, and we don't want that. Like, and I don't think Portuguese want that. So, like, it's kind of like if you want change, you gotta get a slap on the wrist. A boo-hoo. It's not like you guys are going to do anything. So maybe this is the time of them to crash out, like in 2014.
Maybe.
That would set them up for a fresh 2026. So we will see.
It would.
We will definitely see.
For the sake of time, let's move on to Ghana. I've kind of already let my thoughts be known about the Ghanaians. I think they're dead to rights. I think it's last. I think if they get a win at this World Cup, massive W. 1 win would be massive for them. If they get 4 points, oh my God, they're the most outperforming team of the tournament. Swear to God, if they get 4 points, I could
actually
see
have
Korea.
them having getting 4 points.
You have them getting 4? Oh, you have them beating Portugal and then what? Tying Korea?
What do I have actually? Yeah, they tie Uruguay.
What?
No. I can see. I think if they tie anybody in this, they tie Uruguay. I think Uruguay is. Well, I don't want to talk too much about.
It's the
Uruguay.
last game of the group, by the way. Just put it out there.
It's very physical. Last game of the group. That is typical South American fashion to like lock shit up and then just be like, oh, we're gonna take a break. This will be an easy game. Fucking idiots.
They won't be able to though because Ghana will probably have 0 points by that time and need 3 if they want any hope of doing anything. At best case, they go into that last game with 1 point and they need 4. They'll be wide open at the back. Valverde and Cavani will punish them, and they'll beat them 2-0.
I don't know, dude. I don't know because the Uruguayans will be scrappy and physical, but I don't know if they can out physicalize the Africans. That's a tall order for a South American team.
It is, but physicality I think is also overrated. I think we always talk about the physicality of the African teams, they don't do shit at the World Cup.
Right. But you've
But you gotta
seen
also
how South
factor in
Americans
too.
play. They play like shitheads sometimes. Like especially this scrappy Uruguay. Like, I mean, you watch people drag Argentina down in the Copa America. I think that's kind of what we will be getting.
This is the rematch. We gotta remember that.
Handball.
Bro, this Ghana
Ooh.
team is so much worse than 2010. It's not even funny.
No. But I'm saying, there's going to be that little more on the line for Ghana, in my opinion. That's why I think they could get something out of that game. So I can see them getting a win and a draw, and that draw being against Uruguay and that win being against Portugal. That still won't get them through. They're still going to get knocked out on goal differential for me, but they'll get 4 points and finish in third.
I don't think Ghana has the gumption. I don't think they got the gumption. I don't think they got the unity. I'm telling you, I just don't think that they've got it like that. I don't think they play enough like a team. And I really don't think they expect that much from themselves. I think they're going to go in with a lot of heart, and that's going to get shut down immediately, and then they're going to fold.
Yeah,
they've been embarrassed.
This man's heart.
They've been embarrassed lately.
Mm-hmm.
They were a national embarrassment in AFCON. They've been a complete shambles in every single friendly that they've played. And I think that it's great they're bringing in Iñaki Williams. I'm a big Iñaki Williams fan. I think Spain really lost out with that one, to be honest. They could kind of use a goal scorer up top. And Tariq Lamptey, well, I think he's not as good as Shauyan thinks he is. He's a good player, and he will come in and probably become the starter day one for this Ghanaian side. Now, that being said, I still don't think it's enough. I don't think all these guys that they brought in recently, they all got like 40 minutes in their last friendly. I don't remember who it was. And a couple guys got like the full 90 minutes. Nicaragua. There we go. So they literally have 90 minutes, at most 120 minutes of experience on this national team. Bros don't even know each other yet. I just don't see the chemistry clicking, which is already notoriously bad for African teams at the World Cup. I just don't see it. It's too soon. Now, will this benefit them in the next AFCON? I can get behind that. I can. But this is too soon. 2026 might be a more realistic expectation if they can even qualify for that World Cup. Their coach has like eight games under his belt. He's lost 3 of them. I mean, it's his first coaching job ever. Managers are important at the World Cup. I don't see him having any tactical knowledge or anything. Not because I just don't know the guy. He's a completely unknown.
What if you met him, though? Would it change? Like, if you got a nice handshake with the guy, would things change?
I think I would ask him what his game plan is here.
Oh.
And he'd have 30 seconds to convince me that he knows enough to get Ghana out of this group.
I think I can make this FaceTime happen.
Okay. Let's link us together. That'll be the next video on the channel. But anyway, who wants to go next? Albert, why don't you go next on Ghana? What do you think?
Yeah, I think they will score some goals because I think they still have some stuff going forward. But yeah, you're right. I looking at their recent friendly against Nicaragua, they beat them by a goal. Remember they got smacked by Japan too, like 4-1.
Smacked.
Yeah, and I think they will actually score a goal against us because our defense isn't that good. But I think we will beat them. That's the one game that I have as a W for sure for us. And like you said, I think that their cycle it's not their time yet. You know, they're integrating their new European-based guys, and then they'll probably be a little better in 4 years. But you have to remember, like, this team probably even shouldn't be at the World Cup. They barely qualified in Africa because Nigeria just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net in that second leg. Nigerians should be ashamed of themselves, by the way, for that. They should be at the World Cup. So, yeah, I think Shauyan is. Yeah, I mean, Cheyenne is a little more optimistic than me. I think at most Ghana probably gets like a point maybe, and I could see them maybe scrapping a draw against Uruguay in that last game, depending on like how the rest of the table is. Because towards the last game, you might be right. Uruguay might just try to park the bus if they get one early too. So yeah, but at most a point for like 3. Like a 3 would be an accomplishment for them, I think. Yeah.
I'm of the same mindset. I think if they get a win or score more than 2 goals collectively in the group stage, it'll be a massive dub, and they'll get much more than they deserve, at least from what I've seen so far. Would I love to be surprised? Of course. I'm obviously all for the underdog. But yeah, I really am not holding my hopes up here. I would much rather invest that time and energy elsewhere. And yeah, I really.
Where are you
don't
talking
see-
about more specifically? Where's the elsewhere?
What do you mean elsewhere? In my take that fucking Uruguay and South Korea are making it out of the group. That's where
Oh,
all
okay.
the
Sorry.
hope is going.
Continue.
Yeah.
My apologies.
No. It's all right. That is my hot take. I cannot put my emotions on the line for a struggling African team. I will never forgive the continent of Africa if they break my heart like that.
Well, and
Argentina,
also-
I gotta keep going back because they're my toxic ex, but I
Of
can't do
course.
it. Even with the U.S. men's national team, I'm not doing it this year. If you saw the Group B video, fuck them.
Dude, it's we've done predictions, or we're going to do them for every single group. You can't just like keep picking the underdog. You know what I mean? Like eventually, some groups are going to play out how they should. And I've already taken some risks. All right, I got Ecuador second. They look like they can't score against anybody right now. I just am not also going to, just for the sake of being cool or different, going to put Ghana going through in second. Like absolutely not, bro. These guys are going to get bodied. I don't want them to get bodied. 2010 to 2014 Ghana is one of my favorite teams ever. Asamoah Gyan, I literally have the man's jersey. Like, I am a Ghanaian fan. That
You
being
do?
said, this team, yeah, bro.
This
I have
dude's
2014.
out of pocket. Yeah, he has like fucking posters and shit. It's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Wow,
literally have
that
a
is
Ghana
so,
poster.
like-
I don't have it right now.
Now that
but-
he did start liking them just to be different, for sure. He was like the mainstream.
Bro, I heard Asamoah Gyan's nickname was Baby Jet, and I was like, this guy. He's my favorite player now.
He
And
has
he
a
did a big
Yaya.
baller, bro.
He has a Yaya Toure City jersey, and then he stopped wearing
Oh.
it because City started winning.
Oh.
Well,
Wow, you're getting called out a lot here.
well,
Yeah,
that
What
you
have
have
you to
because
defend
finding
yourself with?
you can't really find an Ivory Coast custom jersey, let alone
That's
any jersey. Man, I was a big Yaya guy. And then I realized how corrupt and shitty it was to root for Man City. And, you know, I was visited by an angel in my dreams, and they said, you're better than that, Jack. Choose a different team.
I can't wait till Tottenham gets bought out. I'm
I'm going to be pissed. I'll be
You're gonna
pissed.
fucking
Tottenham
love that
supporter?
shit. You could
Bro, I'm
crazy
going Liga
Tottenham
MX. I'm going full Liga
Shut
MX when
the
that happens,
fuck
bro.
up.
Wow, this
No,
guy
you're
is so
my team, bro.
vanilla, bro.
Pachuca's my
Oh
team,
my
dog. I can't. I can't.
Have
I
fun.
get it. You've gone all
Have fun, dude.
Super Saiyan on us. You think you're cooler than us.
Oh,
and-
so you leave Tottenham for being corrupt when they get bought out. So the natural, you go to Liga MX, the totally fair, uncorrupt league,
Transparent,
transparency, top to bottom.
cleanest
Swing it
I'm
through
telling you, you gotta
Argentina
start supporting the
world
Houston
football, bro.
Dynamo.
I do
Houston
support the
Dynamo.
Houston Dynamo.
They did just get a new GM, huh?
And they
Or
got
a
a
new
new head
coach.
coach.
A new head coach, yeah.
I
New
know, man.
GM a couple years back, new head
Alright.
coach this year. Anyway, fuck
Look,
the MLS.
my NFL teams are bad enough. Usually, I don't need my favorite soccer team to also be
Dude,
ass.
who cares about American
Um,
Hand Egg? Come on, we don't need that.
Well, I went to Ohio State, so I'm morally obligated to at least care a little bit. It is not my favorite sport, but I am slightly invested. I don't even know how we started talking about this, but
It's a
So,
tangent. We went on.
like,
I
round
was
table
like,
real quick.
Please, God, let me go to sleep.
yeah.
We're almost done. Let's
So I
wrap
got
up.
fourth. Connor, you got
Okay,
fourth.
Fourth, easy.
Sean, you got second.
No, I
You
said
got third.
third.
You got third. Okay. And then Albert, you got fourth. Okay. Beautiful. Uruguay, quickly. Connor, why don't you start us off with that?
Uruguay. Okay, so what Uruguay has that the rest of these teams, or really what I think is going to be the difference maker for them is Albert. You made a point about their coach being pretty unproven, didn't really have a good reputation in the MLS, but I made kind of a similar point that I'm going to make about this gentleman with Scaloni, the coach for Argentina. He really is unproven as well. The most experience he has is with the youth teams of Argentina. But what he does incredibly well is he unifies the team in a way that has never been able to happen before. Like even I correct me if I'm wrong, but Lowe for Germany back in 2014 and carrying on, he really didn't have much of a pedigree either. But what he did was unify these guys and turn them into an absolute machine. And I think even like right after Copa America, I was the first one to say that I don't really see much of a future for Uruguay. They have proven me wrong. They've proven me wrong, and I'm on the hype train right now. I think these guys are to be respected, to be feared, and if you take your day off against Uruguay, they're going to punish you for it.
They'll clap you.
They will clap you. I don't know if those the punishments are necessarily going to come from, ex superstars like Cavani and Suarez or anything like that, but I just think the consistency all around and a really pretty strong underrated midfield, or maybe not so underrated midfield, is really going to punish you. I think this is it feels like the Mario of soccer teams. They're just good pretty much everywhere. So you really got to bring your A game. There's not really many weaknesses, just an all-rounder. And yeah, they play together, which is all that they were really missing. So that is what's going to that's at least what propels me to put them in first place in the group.
I don't know if they're all around good. Their defense, still have Marin Castro, who plays for the LA Galaxy, starting for them. So it's kind of like,
okay,
they're good, but I just wanted to put that out there.
That's fair. Would you say that's an outright weakness?
Kind of.
Okay. So you admit the MLS is trash?
No. I'm taking.
Got him, boy.
Break him, John.
No, but like, fuck.
I don't think that guy starts. I just think he gets minutes.
I'm pretty sure he started in one of the recent games.
He started against Iran.
He does start, but he's not the starter. No, it'll probably be Godin, Jimenez, Araujo, and probably.
But even still,
Oliveira.
Godin, he's still playing for them. Like, that shouldn't be a thing.
That is very true. I've been saying that for a while, but he is a massive leader there. And just like Otamendi, it's a guy that you're scared to go up against. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
I'm not scared of Otamendi.
Well, you should be if you were playing against him.
You should be.
No.
That man would end your career one fell swoop.
Absolutely. And even if Godin doesn't start, they have, I think you pronounce it Coates, Sebastian. I don't know if it's Coates or Quotes.
Yeah, Sebastian Coates, yeah.
He's been very good for Portugal in Portugal for a long time. Look, these guys, I'm just going to put some stats out there, and then we'll take it to you, Shauyan. So Alonso, he's got 9 games in charge. These are just straight facts. He's only lost 1 game, and that was to Shauyan's Iran. 1-0 very recently. Lucky result, if you ask me. And in those 9 games since Alonso took over, they've outscored their opponents 17-2.
Yeah.
That's just straight facts. Now I'll get to my prediction last, Shauyan. That being said, I just want everybody to know that. Well, before we continue, where do you think the Uruguayans finish and why?
Second, with 4 points, just get out due to goal differential.
Who do you think their win comes against?
Say Korea, right?
Their win comes against Korea with a big 3-1 win.
Damn.
That's a realistic scoreline for that game, I will say. Unfortunately, Albert, sorry to say.
No, I mean, I think the reason why their old coach, Oscar Taveras, I think, who was there for years, got fired was because they couldn't stop anybody in qualifying. They was leaking goals all over the place. And Alonso was the one who came in and basically made them bunker down a bit and play a bit more solid out the back. But I recall reading, I think against Iran, they weren't exactly parking the bus against the Iranians either. I think they're able to play different styles. They're able to sit back and do the Simeone style Atletico Madrid thing, and also counter press a bit. And I think that even though I have them finishing second in the group, I think out of all of those 4 teams, it's kind of weird to say I have the most confidence in them to make it to the next round. I just think fundamentally, like we said, the midfield is sneaky good. And the center backs are just big motherfuckers, man. I know Godin's old, but you got a monster like Araujo back there. Quotes, I think, is 196 centimeters. And I know, again, physicality isn't everything, but it's going to be really, really hard, I think, for our team especially to find space in that box against them. And I think that's why there's such a terrible matchup for us, because of just the way they play, and the way they play. And I really think that if they don't rely on their old heads too much, I wouldn't start Godin. I don't think I would start Cavani. Maybe I'd start Suarez, but I think if they give their old heads a bit a spot appearance here or there, a 10-20 minute appearance, and let the younger guys take take most of the minutes, I think that they'll be fine. I don't think they're going to get very far in the knockout rounds, but I think in terms of the group layout, I think they match up very well against all three of the other teams in this group. And remember, they knocked out Portugal 4 years ago in the round of 16 too. So they have pretty good records against all these teams. And we actually, Korea, the last time we made it to the knockouts in 2010, we lost to Uruguay 2-1. We took them to extra time, I think, but those are the last, it was a nice Luis Suarez goal that knocked us out. It still hurts to think about, but I think that, I have them finishing second, but I also think that I have the most confidence in them getting out of this group.
Yeah.
They're I feel like of the South American teams, like they always have a good performance at the World Cup, always beating a European
tournament
team.
They're a tournament team, dude. They're like the tournament, yeah.
I mean, they're used to be, they're the underdogs of South America. They are, I mean, I'm probably going to piss somebody off, but they're like the little brothers of South America. They're incredibly small, but they've got a really, really talented population there. They can always field.
Ecuador has entered the chat.
Tremendous. Ecuador has entered the chat. Yeah.
Hey, Ecuador, they've not done shit though. I love Ecuador, but we need to see some results before I dare compare them to the Uruguayans.
Uruguay is tenured. They are tenured there. They have pedigree. They've got the gumption. That is gumption.
I think for me, the big question is, what do you do with Valverde? Is Alonso going to play him out wide, or is he going to play him in the middle? Honestly, if he plays Valverde in the middle, I'm not as scared of him if he was playing out wide. I think if he was playing out wide, I'd be more scared of him. Yeah, because I think he's just so dynamic out wide, and he gives you something a little different.
That's such a nice problem to have.
Yeah, it is though, but
they got some important players coming in form right now.
What side does he play on? Does he play on the left or the right side?
It's the right, I believe.
Right side.
He plays on the. Oh my God, that would counter Nunez perfectly, huh? What a nightmare!
Dude, I don't think Nunez starts. They don't start Nunez. They start Cavani.
That guy's garbage. Let's be honest.
I don't know.
He's not garbage.
I think you get one
garbage.
old guy out there. You let the young guys take the brunt of everything, and you let the old guys capitalize on the mistakes. So you let the young guys do all the work, and then you leave Cavani or Suarez out there to sweep everything up. That's it. Just tap in merchants.
I say we just leave Darwin Nunez at home. I think that's the best thing to say.
I'm not going to get dragged into a Nunez debate right now because this is about the overall group, but we'll do that a separate time. Maybe I'll come on Next Generation Football. We can talk about that. I think, Albert, I just want to say about the Godin thing, I think you have a very valid point saying that he's probably too old and you never really want your starting center back being 36. But, I mean, Italy had Bonucci and Chiellini starting and they won the Euros. And, yes, they didn't make the World Cup, but that's not because they're center backs. It's because they couldn't score. It's because of their forwards. And I think Uruguay and partially him, partially Immobile, and I forgot their brother's name at Torino. Belotti just not being good enough straight up. But Uruguay had that blend of veterans and youth. Like they have the perfect balance, I think, of any other team in the World Cup. They probably got like 5 and 5, like 5 young guys, 5 just been there, done that.
Veterans.
Like Roman centurions, bro. Like, so I think they'll be tough to beat.
It could be like what Rafa Marquez did for Mexico 4 years ago. Like he was on the bench to start, but they put him on 70 plus minutes in to shut it down. So I think if Uruguay gets one against us, then we'll see Godin come in with 10, 20 minutes left and probably just shadow Son or somebody or somebody in the middle just to make sure they don't go anywhere. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's still dangerous off set pieces. I will say, these guys, they're just tough, man. Like Bentancur's coming in on fire. All of a sudden, he started, like you said, Albert, scoring. I don't know where that came from.
Was that right before the World Cup too? You couldn't have done that last season.
The Tottenham effect, baby. Tottenham effect.
Literally, dog. They got him. Valverde's on fire. Cavani has been killing it at Valencia, and I think that's a bit disrespected because Valencia are just in the mud right now. But I mean, Connor, you know how damn good Edinson Cavani is.
He's been underrated his whole career, and he likes to be there, frankly. And you know what? The man still has a lot of pent up aggression because I don't think anything's ever really worked out for him as it should have. Ever since Napoli, You know, he's been perpetually disrespected his entire career. And yeah, he's got a lot to prove, especially now with Suarez kind of aging out. Cavani's ready to step in. I think Cavani took a lot better care of himself.
Yeah.
So we're going to see an era of Cavani dominance here, or at least the potential for that.
What were we gonna say, Albert?
No, I was gonna say I don't even know if Sonny's gonna start playing the first match. I think from what I've read from my reporter friends in Korea is that the expectation in the KFA is that they're prepared. Worst case scenario, he actually misses the first 2 games, and he starts against Portugal. But right now, I don't think he starts against. We got 10 days until Uruguay, and we saw him yesterday. On the field, like supporting the Spurs guys. His face looks really swollen still.
Really swollen.
I don't think he's gonna be able. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be fit in time to play in 10 days. He's got to get at least 1 training session in and get used to the mask. So I think the fact that he probably doesn't play against Uruguay means we definitely lose that game. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all are done without Son.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying though. They get blasted game 1, but then they win out game 2 and 3. This is the stars are kind of aligning to what I'm trying to tell you all.
It is very poetic. It's a very poetic story that we're trying to spin here.
Yeah. Did everybody say where they think Uruguay is going to finish? I got them first.
Uruguay first.
Okay, first. Shauyan second. Albert second. Okay, great. Well, we got a lot of diversity here in these groups. I like that. A lot more interesting discussions. Let's move on to top goal scorer. Let's try to breeze through this. We're already at 56 minutes. So, Albert, why don't you go first? Who you got top goal scorer at the group stage?
Oh, man, top scorer. Well, I think Ronaldo plays like Wink in this tournament. I think, goddamn. I mean, I'm gonna sound blasphemous, but I think Darwin Nunez might feast in that first game, especially if he plays in a 2-striker system and they put him out wide against our fullbacks. That man's just gonna climb over our shorter Korean fullbacks. He's gonna feast, and I think he's also probably gonna play well. Yeah, I know Cheyenne's gonna hate me, but I got Nunez being top scorer in this group.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got Nunez too.
Yeah.
No, what's wrong with you people?
Wow.
He's so overrated.
I do think he's overrated, but I think that this is going to facilitate perfectly for him. Like the dude's big, strong, fast. I think he's going to get in there for some ugly goals, and he's going to capitalize on that. I just think that's how it is.
He's just a C-Tech to Remy.
Wow.
Let's remember that.
Okay, so who you got, Shauyan?
I'm kind of conflicted. I don't know who to pick either. I do have Uruguay and South Korea scoring the most goals in this group, so I'm inclined to pick someone from either of those 2 nations. Let's circle back to me. Okay, you go first.
If he plays all 3 games, I will say it's Son, I think. But without him, I think I'm gonna go Cavani.
See, that's what I'm inclined to pick too. Because I would never pick Darwin Nunez. That's like against my religion.
That's all right.
I don't know why you hate this man so much.
Because how does he go for 100 million and my boy Messi is still
now I know why
at FC Porto, still banging in goals in the Champions League, and no one wants him. We all know why.
It's always personal with Cheyenne.
It is
personal.
Well, not to completely sidetrack, but it's probably because Taremi is Iranian and there's not a decorated history of proficient Iranian strikers in Europe, but there is of Uruguay. So,
well, there's always Ali Dai. It's fine.
I don't even know who that is, respectfully.
Isn't that dude like 70? Isn't he like 60?
I don't know who that is, respectfully.
Yeah, and whoever he is, he doesn't compare to Liverpool Suarez.
What is happening?
Respectfully, the Tottenham head scout has no idea who that is either.
You just disrespected one of the greatest goal scorers of footballing history.
So is Luis Suarez.
Albert, do you know who that is?
Yeah, he was the all-time leading goal scorer for national teams until Ronaldo.
Damn,
That's why he hates Ronaldo too.
Jack,
So-
you don't
is
know
also
It
ball.
why-
all makes sense, bro.
It all comes back to his personal issues. Like,
Oh
God
my
damn,
god, you're the
bro.
most biased person on here. Yeah,
Look, he
I'm
loves
sorry.
that shit. He's like, hell yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
no.
hate Ronaldo. I
do.
just strongly dislike him.
Sounds like hate to me.
That sounds pretty close to
But usually I'm always right. Doesn't matter. My biases come in, but I think with a clear judgment after it. I use that as. But yeah, past the point, I'm picking Cavani as well. I'll go with that. I would have picked Son as well if I knew 100%. If that guy was healthy going into like 1000% healthy, that guy is slapping everyone up, slapping.
Yeah.
But I'll go with Cavani because I can't pick Nunez.
Okay.
How many do you think Ronaldo scores?
1 penalty.
2. He could be
got-
top goal scorer. Really, he
Yeah,
could.
he could too. He could
He
just
No,
really
really
he
fall off.
can't.
No,
he
look,
he
can't.
can.
I'm fully prepared. This is for everybody at home too. I'm fully prepared to be completely wrong here and for Portugal to be a force. That is a definite possibility. And if that happens, it will be on Ronaldo's back. There is not a situation that this team lives and dies by Ronaldo's performance. I'm fully
Dude,
prepared for him
He
to score
could go
3
Super
goals. this
Saiyan
game.
against us too. Like,
Yeah. Oh
he
yeah.
could.
He is that guy. He's that dude.
He's not that
he's-
dude anymore. This isn't, guys. Come on, man. This is 2022.
The man.
Cristiano Ronaldo ain't, dude. Okay, the moment
Everybody
I realized
said that about
Ronaldo was
Messi.
done, so-
Everybody said that about
no,
Messi.
I
last
never
year.
said that. No. But
Nah,
like the
not
moment
you.
you
But
realize,
other people did.
no
other people
one
did.
said that. If you're smart
No,
enough,
a
you
lot of
know.
people
No,
did.
a lot of people did.
A lot of people did.
Literally, there's one missing person from this podcast right now. He said that shit about Messi last year.
Well,
He did. He
that's
said he
just
was
some
done.
That's tomfoolery. But okay. But the reason I think Ronaldo's done is when they played against Almonia, the fact that Iran's fourth string striker scored in that game and Ronaldo had like 70 chances to miss, that's when I knew. I was like, okay. If Karim Ansari Fard can score a goal in this game for Almonia and Cristiano Ronaldo can't score for Manchester United, I was like, you're done. You need to walk the walk, buddy. And
That's
that's
Manchester United. That's a shambolic team with an infrastructure.
and
worse than
Portugal's
most
any better?
African teams. Yes, Portugal is significantly better. That is his
No,
home
dude,
country.
stop.
He won a trophy with them. Manchester
Oh.
United, they're in the fucking mud. Like,
And
this
same
is-
with
this is
Portugal. They're in
different.
the mud too. And you know
Mm,
why? Is it not a
no.
coincidence? It's because it's both the teams Ronaldo plays on.
No, but Man United was in the mud before then. I'm telling
No,
you.
they were better without him. They finished in second before he
Mm,
showed
mm,
up.
I think
They
this man
finished in
has a lot to give.
Champions League with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
I'm telling you, the man has more to give here.
No, he doesn't. Oh, because he scores a hat trick against Norwich doesn't mean anything.
Dude, you cannot underestimate the World Cup and how players get up for that.
They're
I
going
mean,
to change.
literally, he could sprint until his ACLs literally disintegrate because he knows he's done after this.
Yes.
You don't know. He's capable of doing
He
it.
ain't doing squat diddle.
You don't. Okay, so you don't think he'll score?
I said he gets one penalty in trademark fashion. He does maybe one suey, and that's it. That's the end of it.
You know, I kind of want to put Portugal as my number one now.
Go
Just
for it.
because you're saying this is a jinx, and I'm like,
I'm not jinxing. This will be out on the internet, and I'm not scared about the things that I say.
And I respect that. I don't want to put him top goal scorer, but if he does come through, I wouldn't be shocked. Again,
If he
but
does
then I
come through,
think
it's all penalties.
it could be. I mean, Harry Kane got top goal scorer last World Cup because he had 3 pens like against Panama in one game. I mean,
Yeah, I know. It's sad.
so it is what it is. I still think that against Korea, I don't know if they can keep him off of scoring from like a set piece or something.
Yeah. I think
Uruguay, I don't think he scores against Uruguay.
That's the game I think he does score.
I think if he struggles against Ghana, the first game will be very telling though. Either he goes off against them or he just stands there and doesn't do anything.
Is that their first game?
Yeah, it is. They play Ghana because we play Uruguay first. So
Yeah, that'll be very telling because Ghana they've been like the punching bag lately. If Ronaldo and Portugal can't score against them, God help them. I think they're done. Let's go on. Let's wrap up, guys, with any hot takes. I mean, this is just hilarious that I'm even asking this at the end because this has been nothing but hot takes the entire time.
100%. My hot take was Uruguay. Uruguay tops the group. That's where I am.
That's
That was
not
a
a
hot
hot take.
I think it is over Portugal, 100%.
I haven't seen anybody have Uruguay first. I see a lot of people
Really?
having them in second, but I haven't seen anybody having them win.
I'm telling you, it's the Euro bias.
Is it
That's
a
my
hot take to
take.
say that Fernando Santos is still the best manager in the group?
I mean, he did win the Euros, so I guess Connor's face says it all. That's a meme there in itself.
Well, I'm trying to think. I'm like, he's pedigreed like that. Like, who else gives him a run for his money?
I don't know. Not Bento.
So
Bento's
then,
not the worst manager in the group.
He's not terrible, but
I
No,
think
he's
that's
no
locked in
Carlos
then.
Queiroz. Neither of them are, but you know.
Queiroz is a fraud.
Dude, I hate that you say that.
Absolute fraud.
That guy is
Bottle.
like my he. I could give him my children. I respect him that much.
And I'm happy for you. But I wouldn't give him $1
Keep your
for
children.
what he's done.
No, But is that your hot take though? Which I actually now looking at, I don't think it's that much of a hot take. But
No. I was going to mention it earlier when we were doing the breakdown, but I was like, we're talking about Portugal a lot, so I'll just save it. But I think he is. I think he has to be considered the best. If Diego Alonso wins the next Copa America with Uruguay,
yeah, I
there's
think it
an
just
argument
comes
there.
down to that. It's because they won a Euros with him, so that really just
That got me excited just now. I'm like, ooh, Copa America. That sounds fun.
it ain't no
I'm excited.
Asia Cup, but it's not bad.
Bro.
You're right.
I
It
was
ain't no Asia
excited
Cup.
until Qatar got to host it. Now I'm like,
Yep.
Oh,
Welcome to
yeah.
our lives. Welcome to how me and Albert feel. We don't like it
Bullshit.
either.
You guys got to indoctrinate me. I need to get my Asian ball knowledge up. I hate how lost I feel sometimes. Y'all are
you just
talking.
got to tune in with them.
Yeah, you just gotta come in.
Yeah.
You gotta be in the Asian group chats like we in.
I'm not even in the Asian group chat. Y'all got to have me in there.
I'm just kidding. We're not in any.
I'll start one. I'll start
Okay,
an
that's
Asian
good.
group chat.
Who
Asian
like
ball
this
knowledge
Mexican guy just started a group chat titled Asian Group Chat.
You
I
see
love
one
it,
guy
guys.
speaking Farsi, one guy speaking Arabic, one guy speaking Mandarin. He's like, everyone's saying in different languages. Who's this guy?
Yeah. Like, so happy to have you all here. No. Albert, you got any hot takes? I feel like you got one in your pocket.
I think Sonny's gonna score a few goals, but I think all of them come from a direct free kick.
Oh,
You don't think he gets a single open play?
Nah, because most of the goals he's been scoring this past summer for the national team have all been direct free kicks. He scored
and
one
against Costa Rica.
Yeah, he did against Costa Rica. He did against Chile. He did against Paraguay.
Were you both at that game too?
Yeah,
Hell
I was
yeah.
at the.
Dude,
We were at the
lucky
Paraguay. I was at
guys.
Paraguay in the Costa Rica game. So, I mean, Jack, you can attest to this, right? Man's been throwing darts from free kicks.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
that
got
would
it.
be so fucking hype, dude. I can't wait. It's going to be like 5 a.m. I'm at a bar in New York City.
Oh, I forgot to mention.
Some fucking South Korean scores a banger of a free kick. The whole bar's looking at me in an Argentina jersey like, what the fuck is this guy on about?
You're just going crazy in the corner.
I forgot to mention this. I will be at the Uruguay South Korea game.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yo.
What the hell? That's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
you did send the list earlier.
Yeah, I did. No, I totally forgot this was one of the games I'll be at.
You
Hell
might
yeah.
see a free kick
Fire,
goal
dude.
from him, man. There's a good chance.
I mean, as I said, I think this is the game Uruguay win, but I just realized that. I don't know why I just came together. We said free kicks, South Korea sun, and the stars align. I was like, wait.
Yeah. If he plays, but yeah, I mean, hopefully
Yeah,
he
It's gonna
plays.
be fire.
I feel-
This is gonna be
Yeah.
fire.
That's my hot take,
I,
though.
I would say that's like a 5 out of 10 hot take. Maybe 6 out. 2 free kicks. That's a little spicier.
No, I
2 free
think he
kicks
gets
is
2.
crazy.
I think he gets 2.
Oh,
I like
my
that.
goodness.
Bro, if he
gracious.
scores 2 free kicks, I'll get a damn jersey. I'm ready. I'm ready for the hype train.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
All
gonna
right, I
get
got 2 hot takes. I
Tiger one.
basically already said them, but South Korea finished top of the group.
Spicy.
Portugal finished bottom. Those come hand in hand, though. Those come hand in hand.
So
And,
spicy, bro.
I don't think Ronaldo does well in this tournament. Like, he just gets 1 goal, and it's a penalty, and that's it.
I don't want that to happen. Like, honestly, I feel so
I don't
bad
feel
for
bad.
the guy.
He should have been sent off in the last World Cup. I don't care. He don't deserve to be.
I don't feel bad either, but
Yeah, I have no sympathy. I have no
I don't
sympathy for simps.
You think he's a simp, or you think his fans are simps? Who are you adding there?
I don't know. It was from a bit that I've seen that from.
It's just an alliteration you wanted to say. Simping.
No
He's like, I watched
no
the
sympathy for
TikTok earlier.
simps. Yeah.
Yes, I watched.
I would hate to see greatness go out like that, because I do think he's a truly great player. I mean, I think.
Well, if he didn't act like the shit all
the
the time, I'd probably like him. But he's not super humble anymore. Like that's another big issue I have with him. Like
Not
he's
really.
like pouting and like he's leaving games early. Oh, I didn't get to play. Oh, shucks.
Yeah,
But
I think Man United would drive me to that too, though.
I think it's understandable. I think if we had lived the lives of Ronaldo, I think we'd feel some type of way as well. Honestly,
If you packed up and moved from Italy, where your wife and family is like happy and living their best life, to go to fucking Manchester, oh my God, I'd be furious.
He should have came to Seattle. You guys are right.
well, I mean, also, bro, you taking orders from a manager. The best thing he did was make it to a semifinal of a Champions League. I'm looking down on this man like you're nothing compared to me. You might be the manager, but I don't respect you.
I've been there. How many did he win? 3?
More than that, bro.
5?
Ronaldo? 5?
What are we
Or
talking
6?
about? Ballon d'Ors?
How many
Champions
Champions
Leagues.
Leagues?
Five.
He's got 5.
He did win 5.
Yeah.
Querido, that's a whole ass South America. Like, hey, that's just simple math there. That's
what I'm saying,
arithmetic
bro.
there, baby.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You have some recent graduate from NYU come into my company, and he's gonna be my boss. I'm 40 years old. I've been there, done that, veteran in the game. And this 23-year-old's my boss trying to tell me what to do. I'm like, listen, son, you're not built like me. I do the same thing. Swear to God.
And then Rashford or Martial gives you attitude. You see them leaving. You're like, great that you're going to do this charity speech. I'm going to run 7 miles. If you complain to me about not getting a water break and you still don't score in the next game while I'm on the bench, I'm going to kill you in the locker room. I'm going to lose my mind. I get it. I can appreciate that shit. Can you imagine?
Manchester United fan confirmed.
No, hell no. They should be performing a lot better than they are. I miss the Manchester derbies where they were fun.
But you know why they're performing badly, right?
It's not just because of Ronaldo.
Because of Ronaldo.
No,
it's not.
Bro. All right, I'm gonna have to excuse myself.
No, all I have to say is they start dropping Ronaldo, they start winning games.
I think they dropped Scott McTominay around the same time as well.
Correlation,
well,
not
that's
causation.
Partially part of it too.
He's a championship midfielder.
I don't really care. I'm not a European guy. I'm just here for.
He's never heard the name McTominay in his life.
He's just here to hate on Ronaldo.
He thinks he's the starting Irish center forward. Robbie McTominay.
I have a great thing I wanted to chime in with the American football thing.
The American football thing? Let me say my hot take first, and we'll end with yours.
Oh yeah.
My hot take's very short. And Albert, you'll appreciate this. I think Kim Min-jae gets a goal. Off a corner kick, of course.
That'd be great.
How many goals does he have in Napoli? 2?
2, I think. Yeah, he's got 2.
Yeah. I think he gets 1. He gets 1.
I can see him.
He's gonna show out. All right, that's it. That was the whole take.
But do you think after that though he'll get a big move? After this could be a moment for him that he could transcend this to a big move.
Well, I think Napoli's trying to restructure his contract so they get rid of the buyout clause or they make it like even higher. But I think he's having a good time in Italy. He's only 26, so I think he probably spends one more season there, and then maybe next winter he goes somewhere else. But honestly, Liverpool really need a center back, so I could see him.
Dude, I'd want him to come to Chelsea.
Yeah.
I think he should
graveyard of a club. Absolutely not.
I don't think Bully's smart enough. He's too American to look for a Korean, if that makes sense. Like he won't look at.
Yeah.
I think he could be I could see him at United if Maguire leaves. I know Varane's there, but
Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
Bro,
there's only like 4 clubs I think you should go to.
Let him stay in Napoli. The stock for the Italian league is rising like crazy. If Juventus becomes relevant again. Like, I mean,
Juventus? Did you say
Did you mean Piemonte Calcio?
Yeah, Piemonte Calcio. I swear to God, I'm gonna start calling him that. So if Piemonte Calcio starts becoming relevant again, I mean that'll be like a 6-team league, and if Napoli can still compete there, I mean that'll be a great opportunity for.
And then Venezia become promoted again. The Americans are back in it.
Bro, the only hiccup there would be getting him paid what he's due. I think.
The money. Yeah.
The money. So I would understand that, but I really like Italy as a league right now. I think there's a large market for growth.
Yeah, and he could become the best Asian that's ever been in Serie A if he stays for like 3 years. Like we've had some guys like go over there
in one of the best Italian league eras in like the 2000s. Like that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
So no, I think eventually he moves to EPL club. I think that's always been his goal. I don't know if he goes to Spurs. I don't think I want to see him in a 3 center back rotation.
He shouldn't.
Yeah,
He shouldn't.
I think United would be a good place just for him to develop. I don't want to see him at Liverpool. I don't want him living in that shitty town. No offense, but like,
Well, it's not nice.
I want him to go.
He's like, no offense. No, you're right. It's shit.
yeah.
I want him to go to Spain. I want him to go to Spain.
So granola. He needs to go to Chelsea, man. I'd love to see an Asian player go
Why?
to
They
Chelsea.
just got Koulibaly. How many Napoli center backs do they need to buy?
He's garbage.
He's not
That's
garbage.
A lie. That's flat out. Chelsea's garbage is what it
Chelsea
is.
is
Yeah, I
garbage,
know.
bro. That
Chelsea
place
is garbage. This
literally
isn't the Chelsea I
toxic.
used to watch as a kid, man. I'm tired of this. Team's
They're just
dead
so
to me.
toxic. Literally, like, we have a bad defense. Let's buy 4 new, center backs.
Why
and
do you
then
need
when it-
two 60
But
million
Manchester
pound
City,
left backs?
Manchester City's the problem here. Manchester City's the problem here, not Chelsea.
Oh, Manchester City is great, man.
City just
It's
catch
fine.
more flack because they win.
I'm a diehard Seattle Sounders fan. Okay, I don't support anyone else.
Sounders over everybody.
Yes.
Sounders against the world. Okay, let's get your
World
American
Cup.
football take so we
Yeah,
can
and
wrap
then
this
we're-
up.
we're getting
I'm
the hell
fucking
outta here.
starving. Yeah,
Oh,
we
okay.
I'm
No, all
starving
I
as
was just
well.
gonna say was I met Russell Wilson at the
Okay.
LA airport, and I met Chad Ochocinco at a charity soccer game.
Oh, that's sick.
That's it. That's all I had to chime in.
Okay.
Oh my god.
You always run into these people. It's insane.
Yeah, no, the Russell Wilson one, if it was any other American football player, I wouldn't have known who he was. And he was just walking with his wife, and at the time, I didn't know who his wife was. So I was like, hey, do you mind taking the photo with me and Russell Wilson?
You asked Sierra to do
Yeah.
that? She's arguably more famous than he
Yeah,
is.
I know.
Are they
Everyone gave me
married
that
still?
spiel afterwards.
Yeah, they're married. Are you
Wait.
kidding me? He adopted her daughter with Future.
So
Wow,
yeah,
she's married.
that's the story behind
What did she
that.
say? Did she say yes?
She said, sure. Yeah, obviously I have the photo.
That is fucking hilarious. She was probably pissed off about that on the plane.
I mean, I had
She
no
was like,
idea who
I
she
ain't never
was,
taken
so I'm
one of
going
your
to keep it
goddamn-
100. And so
That is fucking hilarious.
I don't know if I'd recognize her either, to be fair.
see,
You would be like, who is this strikingly
I knew
beautiful woman?
later
It's like
on
Tom,
because-
it's like Tom Brady walking with Giselle. You look at them, you're
I
like,
don't know who
Jesus
Giselle
Christ.
is either.
You would. She's a model.
See, I think I'd just be like, oh, like that woman's attractive. And then I keep
No,
it pushing.
All right, I think it's a different caliber of beauty.
Okay, so I'd stare for like a second and a half, and I'd be like, good job, Russell Wilson. And then I'd
Probably
walk
all
away.
right.
Decent.
be like, good job. Good job.
Okay.
Ain't no woman tempting me. That's all I'm saying.
Well, yeah, you get that shit locked down, nice and healthy.
Yeah. No sympathy for simps.
I am not a simp. I am in a happy relationship.
Well, I'd like
Right,
to
baby?
formally.
No, I'm kidding. She's not here. I just
I'd
like
like to
shouting at her
announce
every
that
time.
me and Connor are also in a happy relationship as well.
We're in a happy relationship with hot takes over here.
Yep.
Y'all are, bro. Y'all are, bro.
Okay.
All right, guys. Let's end it here. I'm pretty sure Albert's poor girlfriend's been trying to sleep for the past hour. She's out of the screen. We can't see her right now. But anyways, guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode. I need y'all's hot takes. I don't know if you can top Shauyan's, honestly, but I need you to try in the comments down below. Y'all been leaving a lot of good stuff for the other groups. I really appreciate it. I've been trying to respond to every single one. So let's keep that going, guys. Group H, the final group. We will be doing a knockout round prediction video at some point in the next week. So if you want to see that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you are listening on streaming platforms, guys, please give the podcast a 5-star rating. Connor, anybody else got anything to sign off with?
100%. Look,
Okay.
I know that all of your mamas, your abuelitas, your tias, your cousins, they were all in love with Ronaldo. I know your cousins were in love with Ronaldo in middle school. So give us your takes here. If they want to be informed about how Portugal's going to do, they want to come at you acting all brand new, like why is Ronaldo not in the round of 16? This is going to tell you why. So please just show them the video, allow them to be informed, and we'll be here to help them.
There we go. And guys, I will put Shauyan and Albert's social links down below in the description of this video. I'll also link to Taegeuk Warriors podcast, which is probably the best place to go if you do want news about the Korean national team in English. You can also follow them on Twitter as well. Everything will be down below in the description of this video. And we'd love to have these guys back. I think this was a good time. I hope everybody enjoyed. And thank you guys for jumping on with us.
Well, thank you for having me and Albert. We are very privileged to be here. And, if you all didn't know, make sure if you're watching us, you're seeing our beautiful faces, subscribe to DeadBall TV. Because if you don't want to be square, you want to be triangle.
You're supposed to advertise your channels.
Oh, well, it's fine. It's okay. You don't have to. If you want to go to my channel, you can. I'm just saying subscribe to DeadBall TV.
Y'all go follow these motherfuckers.
We're gonna put it down below. He's got a couple things. We're gonna put them down below. All right, just spam follow everybody, please. Albert, you want to say anything?
Yeah, how could I top that though? Well, it's like 3 a.m. here. I'm about to go to bed, but yes, follow the tavern. Follow me when I'm going to be on FIFA Plus for some content. Download the app. You'll see me reporting from these 3 games, and hopefully it's a good tournament, and hopefully Cheyenne right about us making it out of the group, because I would love to see some knockout football.
Hell yeah, baby.
We all would. We all want to see Korea in the knockout rounds. All right, guys, that's the episode. We'll see you guys in the next one.